I recently had the great honor of being in a video for Creative Memories. It was so fun, and I loved sharing my 8x8 back to school album of my son Nathaniel. Donna Guest here, the lazy scrapbooker and Creative Memories advisor. As someone who likes to get albums completed quickly, a Fast to Fab album is exactly what I need. This little 8x8 album took me only 2 hours to complete. I wanted to share the entire album with you so you can get a good look at the album's design and see just how powerful a completed scrapbook can be. This is the 8x8 version of the Back to School Fast to Fab album. Now, at first when this cover came out, I wasn't sure how much everyone would love it, and I was wrong. People have been crazy over this look. It's very nostalgic with the composition book. So this is a pre-designed Fast to Fab album. All the pages are designed for you. It only needs your photos, stickers, and embellishments. And the bundle comes with stickers and foam squares. So you can have a lot of fun with that. Now, I've taken off all the page protectors except for this one. I wanted you to see what they look like. But of course, for the video, they create a bit of a glare. But they are removable. It takes not much effort. You don't want it to be too easy to remove or they would fall off. But I'll go ahead and take this off so you can see this more clearly for the video. So all I did there was just write a name and add this sticker that comes in the sticker pack. Super easy. Most of the work is done for me. Then here is the preschool page. You'll notice that each page has the grade printed here and with a cute little design. It's got a paper clip there and the little file tabs. But you have grades preschool, kindergarten, and then 1st through 12th. There'll be a page for graduation at the end. So it gives you everything you need. You'll notice I fit 5 pictures on this 2-page spread for an 8x8. You could, of course, put as few as 2 pictures. You could have a school picture on one side, another photo on the other, but I wanted to get in as many as possible. And of course, I did the technique called fussy cutting around one so that I could get more pictures in. The funny thing about that is it's been said that fussy cutting has come back in style and it's very popular on TikTok, which I never knew it went out of style. I've always liked it. Something about it is very relaxing to do. I guess it's like cutting out paper dolls when you're young, but I like it because it gets rid of any backgrounds that I don't need and also gives me a lot more room for more photos. And of course, my favorite, which is journaling. Now over here, I used the bold tip of our dual tip pens to write the years for each grade. And I did that consistently throughout the album in the same place with the same writing style. Now on to kindergarten, and I've done very little to these pages. I've got 4 photos here, and I've got just 1, 2, 3 stickers, and one, if you can see the shadow there, I've raised it with a foam square. So I didn't do anything to the sticker underneath. You can put baby powder on them to remove any sticky surface, but I didn't feel the need to do that. Nothing's going to touch it, so it's just, I know it's sticky under there, but I'm the only one who knows, and of course you. But I've got all the pictures I need here. It was pretty fun picking my favorites to include in the album. And this, of course, is one of my favorite school photos of him right here. He looks very excited to be having his picture taken. Off to 1st grade, he looks really grown up here. And I've got 2 little cutouts over here. And again, it got rid of a background and anything that I didn't want to have in the picture. And of course, gave me room to journal. This was one of the 12-inch borders that come in the sticker pack, and so for an 8x8, I just cut it down, and I've got 4 extra inches that I can use somewhere else. Same thing with this pencil over here. I used just part of it on this page, and I think I used the rest of it somewhere else. I had to make the decision if I wanted to include the larger 3x4 pictures or wallet sizes. I don't know that I'm very consistent in this album. I pretty much used what I still had without having to scan and reprint these because I did have some left over. This has been a long time. This is 10 years ago now. When I made the video for Creative Memories, I talked for about 15 minutes and they of course had to edit. So not every story made it in. This one did not, and I love this memory. It was Fitness Day and he raised more money in the school in donations than any other kid. I was so proud of him and very appreciative of our family members, of course, but he won a Five Below gift card, which he had fun spending. I think the other prize was he got to put a pie in the face of a teacher, which he wasn't loving that as much as most kids would. I don't think he thought it was very nice. But he still had fun with it. And who remembers cakewalks? I used to love these. So this was his first cakewalk ever in 1st grade, and he did love the fact that he won some baked goods there, and he chose cupcakes. Here's 2nd grade. I've got a little pop out right here, it looks like. I fussy cut and then added some foam squares to the back of that. It looks really cute. It gives it a nice little shadow on there and just makes it stand out. You know, I used to be one that didn't like to add a lot of height or thickness to my albums, but if you use these just here and there, it's really not going to add much. As you can see, there's not that much thickness here. So for a school album like this, I would add all the foam squares that you want to. And here's one of those 12-inch borders that I have cut to use part here and part there. I think it looks good. Oh, and there's my favorite, that shirt and tie picture. I love that he wanted to do that. I talked him into participating in the science fair. We did not do an experiment. So the only thing I could get him interested in was music, because he loves music. So we just did a study on the evolution of how we listen to music. And it was basically just us finding all sorts of things. We had everything on that board except for an 8-track tape. Surprisingly, I could not find one of those in the house. I guess we've gotten rid of them all, but I am really shocked that I allowed my Beatles Abbey Road album to be attached to foam board with something. I always loved any time that we could go to the school and participate in something. Here's my husband Jeff having dinner with him, so he's getting to enjoy dinner with Dad at evening with Santa. And then I always love to volunteer at any class party and go there and just at least get to participate and watch him have so much fun. Here we are in 3rd grade, a new school. So he confidently went to a brand new school and met all sorts of new friends and teachers. I've got a couple of favorite memories from this year. First, he did a biography presentation on Steve Jobs. That was his choice. So he dressed like Steve Jobs and he gave a report on Steve Jobs. And I actually still have all of his little speech note cards in his larger album. And he made a little desk. He was supposed to make a desk of what Steve Jobs' desk might look like. So thanks to Creative Memories tools and some foam board, we have a fake iPhone, we have a fake iPad, a fake Apple computer. So all the things that he would supposedly have on his desk. But the greatest thing about that presentation is how well he did. I would have given anything if I could be a fly on that wall. Fun fact about this, our neighbor goes to church with my son's teacher from this grade. And not knowing who he was talking to, the teacher's husband was actually talking about what his wife had been doing at work and all these presentations. And he even mentioned that this kid did a Steve Jobs presentation and how he started with a fake phone call and it was just really good. And my neighbor told me about that. And so it was so good. He created word of mouth. I just love that. I would have loved anything just to see that. Another great memory is Drama Kids. He got into Drama Kids, which was an after-school program, and at the end of the year they had a play, and my sister and I, of course, still describe that as phenomenal theater. It was wonderful. Here we are in 4th grade, and you see I have added stickers here, and you know, the funny thing is I'm going through this album. At first, I was telling you about the stickers and the cutting and what I did, and then I immediately got drawn into the memories and the stories, and that's what these albums will do for you. So even if people, your friends, are not scrapbookers, this is an album that they can do so easily. This one took me 2 hours to do, and that was with all this fussy cutting, which is what adds more time to it. You could really do one of these in an hour. But this is one of the border stickers right here, of course. It looks really great when split in two like that. Oh, and here he is winning the science award for his class just 2 years after I had to talk him into the science fair. I love that he had an interest in that. And now we go to 5th grade. He's all grown up and going to his last year of elementary school, his 3rd and final play with Drama Kids. The absolute highlight of this year, though, is he, since he got to the school in 3rd grade, wanted to be an anchor on the news every morning. They had news over video every morning, and he auditioned, or practiced first, auditioned and earned an anchor spot on the morning news team. Was so very proud of him. I remember my husband saying, I don't want him to get his hopes up. And I told my husband, you need to watch him practice because he was good. He was very good. So I am so glad that he got that experience and did a fantastic job. And that's a picture of the screen because I went to the classroom as much as I could to watch it on the screen and took some video and some photos. Off to middle school. I remember middle school was like the worst time ever when I was growing up, but you know what? I had no need to worry because his middle school were 3 wonderful years for him. He transitioned so well, and 6th grade was a beautiful year. Here he is being honored at Breakfast of Champions, invited by one of his teachers to join her for breakfast, and that was something that they did based on character, which always makes me proud. And here he is winning a couple of awards at their school Olympics. They had a fun Olympics each year, and it wasn't all athletic competition. He won awards for his team, won first place in Name That Tune. I believe he was a ringer because this kid knows any song from the 50s, possibly before and after, and the artist who sings it. It's amazing. He's like an encyclopedia of music. And then here he is, the last day of school with his yearbook, and you can see the transition here from the first day of middle school to the last day. He's really grown a lot, grown up, and gotten a lot taller. On to 7th grade. He's starting to look so grown up. I love those band concerts. He was in band 3 years in middle school, playing drums, and that was always so fun to see. And the band was much better than I thought a middle school band should be. It was pretty impressive. So here he is, last day of 7th grade, 13 years old, growing up so quickly. And now that last year of middle school in 8th grade. And I love all the little embellishments that I can use here. And this is the year, here we go, 2020. We all know what happened then, a COVID pandemic. It brought on virtual school, which we originally thought would be just for a couple of weeks, but it turned out to be the rest of 8th grade. So homeschool, virtual school at home. And you know what? He adjusted really well, and it wasn't as horrifying an experience as I was afraid it might be. And then off to 9th grade at Allatoona High School, his first day at a new school. We still had virtual school for a couple of months. Here he is dressing how he wanted to dress for virtual school. And if that involved a fedora, so be it. But a great year for him. He really did well. And he found his new favorite activity, baseball, with our local rec league, the Ackworth Warriors. And it has been a wonderful experience. He's still playing it now. He's got 2.5 more seasons left since they play twice a year. 10th grade. He's really just starting to look like a man here. I just can't believe it. And I've only got 3 pictures on this page. I found, and you may find too if you're doing one of these albums, the older they get, sometimes the fewer pictures we have. Not because we don't take as many, but there's just so many activities and photo ops when they are young. So I've just got 3 here in 10th grade. His class picture, the first day of school, and then an activity. And this is him being named MVP for his baseball team. And he shows so much heart and hustle and plays with such passion that he earned that. And I'm just really proud of him. Then our current year, we're in 11th grade now. We've got the first day of school, the class picture, and then a couple of more baseball photos and showing off the ring that his team won in a championship. That was in the fall. And we've just got 1 more year to go, so the album is ready when I have the photos, and for senior year, I'm sure I'll have tons of photos. And then we've got one last page in the back where we can put a graduation photo. And we've got the perfect album, and this will be a great thing to have on display at a graduation party. Now, of course, knowing me, and you know that I have tons of scrapbooks, and I've done basically at least 1 album for each school that he's attended, and elementary school was a little bit more. That's a lot to have out at his party for people to look at, but people can look at this and get a glimpse at his whole school career. So, hey, I'll have those big ones out too, not to worry, but this one will probably be a highlight. Thank you for taking this trip down memory lane with me as I gushed over all of these memories, and that is exactly what a completed album can do. Look in this video description for a link to the 8x8 bundle I used to complete this album.